Hello, high school basketball fans, and welcome to the Ray Etzler Gymnasium in Crestview High School, where tonight it's the Northwest Conference rivalry game, it's the Van Wert County rivalry game, it's the Lincolnview Lancers, it's the Crestview Knights. I'm Dave Bowen. It's my pleasure to be your play-by-play announcer this evening. Sitting beside me is the OG grad, Scott Mag. He'll be playing with the crayons tonight, giving you all the color commentary. Scott, we said it's the Knights, it's the Lancers. Lincolnview led by Brett Hammonds. They come into tonight's game with a record of 5-15, but don't let that record fool you. The last two Friday nights in league action, 1-point losses to Allen East and to Delphus Jefferson.
Absolutely. When you talked about a rivalry game, you throw out the records, right? Because these guys know each other. They probably, played some game somewhere, junior high, some travel team, something. These guys know each other, and they're excited about playing this game tonight, yes.
Absolutely. These kids, they see each other at the Van Wert County Fair and 4-H and all kinds of activities, FFA. No strangers to each other. Let's take a look at the keys for first Lincolnview tonight.
Yeah, Lincolnview. Key number one is they need to control the paint. And what I mean by control the paint is Crestview has out-rebounded every team that they've played this year. So Lincolnview needs to make sure that they got to be physical and control the paint and get a body on a body to make sure they can't give a very good offensive team multiple shots. Two, they got to shoot the ball with confidence. You talked about losing by Allen East by one, losing by, sometimes you're going to miss shots, but you still got to be able to shoot the ball with confidence, because key number three is Crestview does such a good job of full court man, half court man. They sprinkle in a little bit of zone here and there that they got to be able to handle the changing defenses that you may get a shot against a 2-3 zone. They may switch to man. Now you got to do something else. And now some guy is going to be there when you shoot it, so you got to be able to shoot the ball with confidence and understand that they're going to change defenses on you all the time.
And when you've had 5 wins on the season, that can be a little bit of a challenge.
Yes.
When you throw the records out in this game. We look at the Crestview Knights under the leadership of Doug Etzler, 16-4 coming into tonight's contest. What do they need to continue to do to continue to have an outstanding season?
Well, key number one, it kind of goes with key number one against Lincolnview. Lincolnview's got to control the paint, but Crestview's got to be physical, because I'm sure Crestview's going to make sure that Ren Sheets is not going to get 6 or 7 offensive rebounds, so they're going to be bodying up. They're not going to let him get easy shots in the paint. So they're going to have to be physical and handle the pressure that Lincolnview is going to put on them. And then second is, we're 20 games into the season, Dave. You know as well as I do, I'm sure Lincolnview has probably seen all 20 of Crestview's games, so they know if they call one, they're going to know exactly what it is. But you got to be able to run that set. You got to be able to set a screen, even though when a team knows when it's coming. So you got to counter it. Maybe go backdoor if they're overplaying it. Maybe curl a screen when you normally fade it on a screen. So you still got to be able to run your sets, but you got to read the defense a little bit more because they know what's coming. And then that kind of ties into number 3 is do what you do, right? Do what you do when you do here. They won many, many games in this gym, right? They feed off the energy of the crowd. They need to take that energy, do what they have done forever, and take it into this game and put it against a team who they grew up with, they go onto the fair with, they know what it is, but taking that energy to beat their buddies.
So here we go tonight. It's the rivalry game. Throw the records out. This series goes back to 1961. Crestview owns a 70-29 advantage overall. But don't tell these kids this. It's about tonight and tonight only. We'll be back with the starting lineups and our opening tip. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. Welcome back to Crestview High School, the Ray Etzler Gymnasium, as our starting lineups are being introduced to the fans in the gymnasium. We want to thank our scoreboard sponsor. Tonight's scoreboard is sponsored by Loddix Jewelry, your family-owned and operated jeweler for over 70 years. Visit them at 1244 South Shannon Street in Van Wert or online at loddix.com. And our premier sponsor for tonight's game is First Federal Bank. Tonight's premier sponsor for the Crestview Knights is First Federal Bank in Van Wert. Your community, your bank. I'm Dave Bowen. Doing play-by-play and doing color tonight is Scott Mag. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. First for the Lincolnview Lancers. They bring a record of 5-15 into tonight's contest. 0-6 in league play. 4-7 at home. 1-8 on the road. Your starters include number 1, senior guard Creston Toe, a 5'8 senior, averages 8 points per game. Max Hammonds, a 5'9 sophomore guard, averages 13.8 points per game. He is the leading scorer for Lincolnview. Holden Price, a 5'4" junior guard, averages 2 points per game. And Gavin Evans, a 6' junior, averages 6 points per game. And completing the starting lineup for Lincolnview, a 5'11 junior guard, Chase Overholt. He is the second leading scorer for Lincolnview at 11 points per game. Again, for the Lancers, it's Toe, Hammonds, Price, Evans, and Overholt. For Crestview, under the leadership of Doug Etzler, 16-4, 4-2 in Northwest Conference action, 9-1 at home, 7-3 on the road. Your starters look like this. The 6' junior guard, number 0, Hayden Parrott, second leading scorer for the Knights at 10.2 points per game. Number 3, 6' junior guard, Braxton Leith, averages 5.2 points per game. Liam Putman, a 6' 3" junior forward, averages 3.6 points per game. 6' 1" senior, number 10, Tommy Hefner, the third leading scorer for the Knights at 9.8 points per game. And then Ren Sheets, the reigning Northwest Conference Player of the Year, the 6' 6" senior forward, averages 16.9 points per game and 8 boards. Again for Crestview, it's Parrott, Leith, Putman, Hefner, and Sheets. A nice mix, Scott, of juniors and seniors for both squads. But overall, the Knights, they have 3 players right there at the double-figure mark, and that has been a reason why they have had such a successful year.
And not only that, but, every coach in America, every coach since basketball was invented, you want a little bit of outside, you want a little bit of inside. And Crestview, as you said, they got some double-point scorers on the inside, and they got some double-point scorers on the outside, and that makes it very tough to beat. If you're one-dimensional, you can take it away. You see it all the time in football. You want to make a team one-dimensional, you can take that away. But if you're 2 dimensions, it's very difficult to take both of those away.
And for Lincolnview, their tallest starter is 6' Gavin Evans. He's a glue guy. You're going to see him work really, really hard on Ren Sheets. He's going to get help, but then they will also bring in help off the bench with 6'4 senior Bennett Kill and 6'3 junior Cody Hamilton. The tip is up. Crestview gets possession, and Tommy Hefner is going to bring it across the timeline. The Lancers open up in man-to-man.
Yeah.
And Hayden Parrott goes right into Ren Sheets. He kicks it out. Good inside-out action. And Hayden Parrott picks up the 3. That's his 38th on the season. The third leading shooter from distance at 36% for the Knights.
Yeah, so good. Ren Sheets was able to get the ball. He felt the triple team. He made a nice pass out to the 3-point shooter, and they knocked it down. Again, I'm sure he's seen that a lot. But, again, you see how well he passed the ball. A lot of big guys can get the ball in and get it back out, but he put it right on the numbers and made an easy attempt for Hayden Parrott to put the ball in the basket.
Marshall Hammonds with the basketball out top. That's Creston Toe, and he's going to travel. So good defensive possession for Crestview right there to start with. Lincolnview unable to get a shot off or find anything very easily against this Crestview defense.
And really, Dave, they never got the ball inside the 3-point line, too. It was kind of dribble and attack around it, and Crestview did such a good job to not let any of that straight line drive or get the ball inside the paint and allowed them to force the traveling call.
Liam Putman with the basketball back to Parrott. He's wide open again. Is it 2 for 2? Doesn't go, but there's Ren Sheets going against Gavin Evans, and he puts it up and over. Give Ren Sheets the rebound and the bucket. And this game starts very, very well for the Knights. Not quite the way you want it to go here in the early going if you're a Lancer fan.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to get a body on him to make sure you get the ball. And then nice shot there.
Max Hammonds, excuse me. I called him Marshall earlier. That's his younger brother. Max drills that one from distance. He needs to be aggressive offensively. Does so right there. Cuts the lead to 2. Crestview in transition. It's Parrott to Ren Sheets. Sheets with another quick bucket.
And I think I like what Lincolnview's doing, right? You're going to go full court. You're going to try to speed them up, right? Maybe because I think if they just play half-court man, Crestview's going to be able to pick them apart by throwing it inside-outside. So I like the press.
Outside shot by Chase Overholt doesn't go. Ren Sheets with the board. Yeah, Crestview is a very physical team. I've talked to several coaches around the area, some WBL coaches, and that have indicated that Crestview is the most physical team they've gone against. That doesn't bode well for a half-court game if you're Lincolnview.
Right, and absolutely. We talked about that, about how they want to be physical. We talked about in the pregame keys. When you speed them up, you can't just pound it inside.
Holden Price picks up the personal. That's his first, team's first. And Tommy Hefner is going to the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line. He is the leading free throw shooter for the Knights at 76%. Makes good on the first one. Tonight's free throw sponsor is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, St. Mary's, and Delphus. Come join us next week, February 17th through the 23rd, for Customer Appreciation Week. Lee's, we're not just famous for chicken, we're famous for catering too. Chase Overholt kicks it out to Max Hammonds. Max will let me know that I called him by his younger brother, Marshall. Marshall, an 8th grader, will probably be on this varsity team next year as a freshman, a real fine player. We can talk more about that later. Max with another shot from outside, doesn't go. Hayden Parrott with the board. Tommy Hefner, here he comes in transition for the Knights. Looking to get to the glass, cut off by Overholt. Parrott over to Leith. Leith is a defensive stopper for the Knights. Looks to get it in to Ren Sheets, and there's going to be another foul on Lincolnview. That's going to go against Gavin Evans. That's going to be his first, team second. We see it on the Carry Insurance replay.
Right, and you look how Ren Sheets got across the paint, right? He got across the face of Evans, and Evans got to be a little bit more physical in there and not let him cut across his face. Any defense, no, you're in trouble when you let a guy comes across you like that.
I love it, Scott. Spoken like a true post player and a postman coach right there. You cannot allow the offense to cut across your face down on the baseline in the paint. And right there, Tommy Hefner, he finds the baseline to his liking, and he picks up the personal on Chase Overholt, his first, team's third. Hefner going back to the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line, where he was 1 for 2 previously. Count that one. 2 for 3, a 9-3 advantage with 5:03 to go. Hefner looking to make good on the second one from the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line, and he does so.
And Hefner's been really aggressive off the dribble, right? He's been attacking the glass, and I don't know if it's something that Coach Essler has talked about. They got a mismatch that they like, but he's been really aggressive, even in the full court of attacking off the dribble and trying to get to the rim.
Max Hammonds with the basketball, takes it out top. Again, Braxton Leith draws the assignment on the opponent's best player right there. There's a great back cut by Max Hammonds. He's got 5. Lincolnview's got 5. Nice job by the Lancers right there.
Great job of setting him up and go back door again. When you get somebody higher than you, you go back door, and that allows him the next time. Leith is going to be a little leery of the back door, and he's going to wait and see. So you're going to be able to get open coming off a screen.
And we're going to have a foul there. It's Lincolnview comes up with a 2-3 zone defense that time. Hefner with the outside shot. We see it on the Carry Insurance replay. Hefner with a good look. Sheets goes up, and Creston Toe goes underneath him.
Creston Toe, one underneath. Yeah, you needed to make that contact first before Sheets goes up.
Under out of bounds for the Knights. Putman in deep. Goes up and over Chase Overholt, and Putman scores. He's a 52% field goal shooter. Makes good on his first attempt. 52% is pretty good, but when you look at Ren Sheets at 71%, 52 is sort of average.
Right.
Good shot there outside by the Lancers. They don't get it, but Max Hammonds gets the offensive rebound. He's going to bring things out front and reset the table.
Good job by him to go and get a nice little backdoor screen.
Yes, another back cut as Evans tries to go to Overholt. Overholt undercooks it. Hefner with the ball out front. Lincolnview staying in the 2-3 zone. Parrott goes to Ren Sheets at the elbow. He goes down low to Putman. Up fakes. Lincolnview gets a hand on it, but Ren Sheets gets the trash. He kicks it out. Hayden Parrott going baseline. Looking for Sheets on the drop down. Get it. Sheets with the bucket. Give Parrott the assist.
Yeah. Good job by Sheets to get in that high post and just come straight down Broadway, right? So you got to drive. That's the easiest thing for a big man. You kind of stay behind and get to it.
Yeah, straight down Broadway for Crestview. Coach Hammonds takes a timeout. We'll take one as well. It's the Knights and the Lancers in Convoy. Tonight's three-point sponsor is Hoffman Edwards Plumbing. We take pride in providing the highest quality plumbing and heating along with the best customer service. Call 419-238-5628 for all your HVAC needs. Coach Hammonds takes that quick timeout, down 14-5. I like that timeout. They've done some good things here on offense, but they need to have some quality possessions because they're in that Kenny Loggins danger zone a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're getting good shots. They're just not falling. I think the problem right now is they have no answer on the defensive end. They try that 2-3 zone, but, Crestview, I'm sure I've seen that many a times this year, and they're pretty comfortable against that zone. That, Sheets such a good passer in that makes it very, very difficult to defend when he's in the high post and he can come across your face and does a good job.
Lincolnview's going to stay in that zone, but you talk about that 2-3 zone. Yeah, Crestview saw it last Saturday night big time from Coldwater, and you'll see Owen Heckler come in the game, and he is in the game because he's a three-point specialist. Crestview with the turnover. Lancers in transition. They turn it right back. Leith with the ball. Gets to the elbow.
Good job by Will Sheets. Really kind of wasn't in the play, but he kind of kept his head on a swivel and was able to knock that one away.
Hefner back to Parrott. Coach Hammonds wants to be a man-to-man defensive team, and they have played predominantly man-to-man this year, but the matchup just isn't favorable to it against this taller and stronger and more physical Crestview team.
Absolutely, and the bad part of playing the 2-3 zone is you don't know who you need to box out, but if you cut away the drives and you be able to attack a big guy like that, you get a steal.
Will Sheets with the turnover. Max Hammonds with the steal. And Lincolnview right into their offense. That's Xander Coyle, number 5. Took a 3 on the last possession. Goes hard offensively right here. Gets his own board, kicks it back out. Nice. There's a nice pass down to Gavin Evans. He goes up with it. Doesn't go. Offensive rebound chased over Holt. Lincolnview will reset.
Getting shots, just not falling right now for the Lancers. Playing hard.
Absolutely. They always do. That is a Brett Hammond staple as kids get after it. And right now what we're seeing is a lot more movement down here. If he can get Crestview to continue to stand on offense, he being Coach Hammonds, it may bode well if they can hit a couple shots.
Right.
Creston Toe with the basketball. Xander Coyle again in the game off the bench. That's Gavin Evans. And he's looking to attack against Will Sheets. Owen Heckler comes down and helps, and he gets the steal. Hayden Parrott brings it across the timeline. He's going to set his feet, and that's going to be short. Going to go out of bounds and stay with the Knights.
The zone, you say, well, it's not working, but they forced a couple bad passes. They forced a couple quick shots. The only thing, they got to finish it by boxing out and getting the rebound, but, Ren Sheets kicks back in, so I think he got a little break. Now they're going big. They got his brother and him in there, so they're going to two bigs down low. It's going to be really, really difficult for the Lancers.
Another miss by Hayden Parrott with a good look. Owen Heckler with the board. He dishes it to Ren Sheets, and he lays it over the top of the rim. That's his 4th 2 in the first quarter. Sheets with 8. Give the assist to Owen Heckler.
Just got too many big guys at the rim. They just got to find a body and keep them out of there and just be a little bit more aggressive. And I think Lincolnview might be taking the air out of it, and just trying to keep this close and maybe get a backdoor here.
Looking to hold it for the last shot of the quarter. Down to 10. That's Max Hammonds, and he puts it up. Draws contact, and he scores it, does the sophomore.
Yeah, that's a tough shot.
We see it on the Carry Insurance replay. Hammonds gets into the paint. Hayden Parrott walling up, but then he knocks him off balance.
Yeah.
So you have a Carry Insurance instant replay, and now you have Max Hammonds going to the Lee's Famous Recipe chicken free throw line to get the three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Right. Cut this lead to just 8. And I'm sure he, after that debacle of the first couple of minutes, that he'd be tickled pink to be only down 8.
Max Hammonds, an 83% free throw shooter for the Lancers. Makes good on that one. Tommy Hefner against the 2-2-1. 5 seconds. Liam Putman, he's going to get to the window, and he kisses it off the window, and he scores it, and almost a steal right there. But it's going to stay with Lincolnview. But that's what, again, you can't have that happen if you're Lancers. You just had a great play. You want that to be the last bucket of the quarter.
Absolutely.
Crestview able to get a quick one off of the press.
Yeah, and you just it was too easy going to the rim. Somebody's got to step up and stop the basketball, but I get it that you had Ren Sheets at the rim. You got to pick your poison, and they kind of were worried more about Ren Sheets there.
Leah Putman with the score. That makes our first quarter 18-8 in favor of the Knights. It's high school basketball, Northwest Conference style on WOSN. Tonight's instant replay is sponsored by Carey Insurance in Grover Hill, proudly investing in our youth programs and communities. And a personal note with Carey Insurance, Scott, the owner of Carey Insurance, Randy Carey, he is on the girls staff at Lincolnview, but he is a Crestview grad. I had the great opportunity and the fortune to coach him back in the day.
Wow, you might be dating yourself there.
I'm definitely dating myself, Scott. I'm definitely dating myself, but proudly so.
Experienced.
There you go.
Experienced.
So it's a 10-point deficit. Lincolnview gets the basketball to start the second quarter. Bennett Kill in the game now, and he's got the ball up top. Bennett's missed some action with a knee injury, but he's back coming off the bench for the Lancers. Xander Coyle in the paint, goes against Tommy Hefner, rolls off the front of the rim, but they fight for it. Ren Sheets gets the block on the offensive putback by Kill. That is Ren Sheets' 51st block of the season.
Yeah, that's
blockalicious right there.
Yeah, right, and good little curl there.
Yeah, absolutely. Xander Coyle gets the bucket. That's his first of the game, and that makes it an 8-point advantage for the Knights.
Again, I do like this press, trying to give them a different look, trying to speed them up a little bit. The only problem is they've been really successful of getting to the rim once they try, just like that.
Tommy Hefner takes it coast to coast against the pressure. You're right. That's where when you don't have that big that can guard the paint, sometimes pressing can work to your disadvantage, and that's what happened right there. Xander Coyle, he comes in. He's like instant offense off the bench. He's getting his shot up.
Right.
That one doesn't go. Hefner with the basketball for the Knights. The Lancers back in the 2-3 zone. Ren Sheets trying to post on a body inside. You teach that as a postman coach. Don't just stand against the zone. Find a body. Putman to Leith. Leith doesn't get it. And there's Max Hammonds with another rebound.
Coach Etzler had seen that Hammonds had two hands on and pushed him out of the way. He's kind of wanting to call there. But if you notice there, Dave, that Lincolnview had two guys on Ren Sheets and weren't going to let him get an offensive rebound there.
Yeah, there are opportunities, and Crestview's getting some looks outside. They aren't going down from distance overall. But there's a nice skip pass. Hefner with a three-ball look. He splashes that one. Tommy Hefner picks up his first three of the game. And again, our three-point sponsor is Hoffman Edwards. Hoffman Edwards takes pride in providing the highest quality plumbing and heating along with the best customer service.
Good pass out of that to skip it against the zone. That really hurts zones when you skip it from one side to the other. You get everybody over on one side of we always called it the tape at Otto Glanter from Lipstick. We always said that's in the middle of the floor. You got the tape. You got to be on the tape. They get the ball to the other side as Hammonds makes a great cut there.
Sure does. And again, you talk about being at the face of the basket, the middle of the floor. Crestview was not, and Hammonds takes advantage. He beats the defense. He gets the ball. He scores it, and he's going to the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line, again, to complete another three-point play the old-fashioned way for the Lancers.
Yeah. And again, if you play against this offense, it kind of lull you to sleep. Right, they go a little screen, a little flare screen, a little whatever, and then all of a sudden they put it in the second gear and get by you and cut hard to the basket, and they lull you to sleep. A little fades, a little curls, a little, you're constantly getting hit on something, and all of a sudden somebody slips a screen and gets open for a layup. It's kind of a very tricky offense to defend, but the backside guys have to be aware of the slip.
And Gavin Evans picks up his second personal, and that's a storyline in this first half of this game. Gavin Evans, a glue guy, guards the opponent's big. He's guarding Ren Sheets. He gives everything he has to Coach Hammonds and his teammates. But right now, he's going to go to the bench, and Cody Hamilton's going to come in.
And again, he got in trouble because he played behind him, right? You can't go through a guy. You got to get either high side or you got to front to not allow him. You get behind and Ren gets his butt on you, it's over.
Yeah, I always liked it when Coach said, you just get in front of him, because then if they threw the lob, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
I needed backside help.
Right.
Crestview going against that 2-3 zone by the Lancers. Tommy Hefner stops, pops, doesn't go, and there's a rebound by Xander Coyle. 10-point advantage for the Knights. 5 minutes left in quarter number 2. Hamilton with the basketball. Back to Coyle. Nice play there, but Coyle unable to come up with it. And then Braxton Leith, he rips it out of there. Turnover on the Lancers.
I just don't think Hamilton thought that was coming.
Another storyline we haven't talked about with this game is these two teams, they're going to turn around and be right back here in the Ray Etzler Gymnasium next Friday night for tournament action. Yeah. And that's a turnaround that you're not accustomed to. And I know, talking to both coaches, they're not super excited about playing each other right away again. There's a bucket by Liam Putman. Give the assist to Ren Sheets. So Ren Sheets, he can score it, but he can also find the open teammate, and Crestview's been able to work the ball. Whenever they've worked it down inside, good things have happened.
Absolutely. And again, I'm just impressed not only with his scoring ability, but his passing ability. He's probably one of the better passing bigs that I've seen all year, Dave.
Yeah, and I know you haven't seen maybe Ren Sheets a whole lot in his career, but sometimes he's been noted as being too unselfish, and as a senior, he has been more aggressive. But when he finds an open teammate, he's going to get him the ball, and there's nothing wrong with that. Braxton Leith just picks up his second personal for Crestview, and he is out of the game now, and Owen Heckler back in.
You know, kind of mentioned about that nice move there by Hammonds to get in the lane.
Hammonds picks up his 13th and 14th point of the game.
He just needs
having a great first half.
Yeah, he needs someone else to help him score a little bit. Turnover there.
Yep.
No, I think they might call it. They might think that Lincolnview got that. But
well, they're going to get together. We haven't shared our officials' names tonight, and as they have a little conference, a little picnic under the basket, we'll let you know who they are. Chris Ewald, Mitch Owen, and George Mock. We got the A team tonight. They're doing a great job. Great job getting there together there, communicating, getting the call rectified.
And you know, as a coach, you always knew that there was a good official when you didn't really notice them, right? We haven't noticed them all.
Absolutely.
They made the calls that have been obvious, and they really haven't been noticeable. But kind of back with your Ren Sheets about being selfish. But wouldn't you? It's great to play for a guy that knows that if you're open, he's going to get you the ball. You're going to feel a lot more comfortable throwing it to him, knowing that if you're open, he'll give it back to you.
Owen Heckler with the Hoffman-Edwards 3. That's his 36th on the season. He is the leading three-point shooter for the Knights at 47%. You'll take that every day and twice on Sunday when you're shooting 50% or close to it behind the arc. Lincolnview with the basketball. Bennett Kill at the elbow. Creston Toe goes inside to Kill. He doesn't get it, but an offensive rebound. And there's Heckler. It's loose. Lincolnview keeps it, though. I don't know if you'd reset the shot clock there if we had one or not. Toe with a off-balance 3. I think he got caught betwixt and between right there. I think he was
going to throw that in time to Kill, but Crestview closed that one in a hurry.
Will Sheets goes strong to the hoop. Doesn't get it. Nice defense by Kill.
Yeah, and Toe to go get it.
Overhaul in transition. Nice. Takes it at Ren Sheets, and he scores it. Overholt picks up his first field goal of the game, and that shows a toughness move right there and lets his teammates know, hey, we're here to go after him. Let's not quit playing. Attacks Ren Sheets.
And he went right to the rim, right? He didn't slow down and look. He just went right to the rim. He has his eyes, if we're going to show it here, right? Toe rips it out. He runs the floor, gets to him. Look at his head's right at the rim. He didn't even look who's coming. He went right there. It's a great job by him to get right to the rim.
Absolutely.
You look around, you give time, you give shot blocker, right? He just went right to the rim and made him either you're going to come through me and foul me or I'm getting this basket.
Inside out action. Putman to Parrott doesn't go. And it's off of Crestview to go Lincolnview basketball. 11-point game, 1:54 to go in the second quarter. Been a real clean half overall. And these two teams getting after it again. They're playing tonight, and then they're turning around and playing in 7 days. And it's just a unique situation with the 7-division format. And then playing on the home floor, that Lincolnview's got to come right back here to Crestview. I don't like all that, to be quite honest, if you want me to go editorial, but that's the way it is.
Right. And again, I think that 7 divisions, it really didn't change anything in this area. That all of our schools are still going to beat up on all of our schools that we've had forever until they can seed the whole region. And because it's not really going to matter from right here. Most of our teams have played everybody for years.
Yeah,
so it's really nothing different for us.
Division 6, this sectional, it's somewhat of a Northwest Conference sectional now. 6 of the 8 teams are from the Northwest Conference, and Ada is one of them that isn't, that just left the Northwest Conference. So it's a little different in that format. You don't have your Putnam County League schools in it as much. But there's a shot by Hammonds that doesn't go. He's been aggressive offensively, and in talking with Coach Hammonds, his father, he said, I need Max to be more aggressive, to take more shots. And every shot he's taken has been a quality look. And he's the leading scorer here for the Lancers, and in this first half, as Crestview is going to be patient here at the end of the quarter.
Yeah, and again, up 11, you're thinking, well, no hurry, and the only way we would hurry is if you want to come out and play a man-to-man, because knowing that you have a distinct advantage when you go man-to-man, but they're good taking a break and going into, at the very least, up 11 at halftime.
With Parrott and Leeds, both with 2 fouls, you stay on offense, and Parrott's not in the game right now, so he can't pick up a third. And Leith will just have to be smart and not have a charge attacking the basket. Liam goes to the basket, doesn't score, but there's Ren Sheets to clean it up. Sheets with his 5th 2-pointer. He's got 10 on the night. Chase Overholt looking to attack, and I think he shuffled the feet, and he did. So with 2.6, you want to be greedy if you're Crestview. Don't just throw it in. Try and get something down the floor here a little bit. They got a bucket at the end of the first quarter in transition.
Right, and the way they've been handling this, right, they've been putting on the floor and getting right to the rim. 2.6 seconds, they catch it at about half court. They should be able to get to the rim from this.
Good defense by Lincolnview. Hefner has to throw from half court. From this angle, it looked like it was going to go in. 2 are in the books here at Crestview High School. Your score, Crestview 30, Lincolnview 17. We'll be back with the numbers and some halftime adjustments. You're watching Northwest Conference basketball on WOSN. Tonight's scoreboard sponsor is Lodex Jewelry, your family-owned and operated jeweler for over 70 years. Visit them at 1244 South Shannon Street in Van Wert or online at lodex.com. And our free throw sponsor is Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, St. Mary's, and Delphus. Come join us next week, February 17th through the 23rd for Customer Appreciation Week. Lee's, we're not just famous for chicken, we're famous for catering too, but I'll tell you, Scott Mag, I really enjoy Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken.
Can't go wrong, can you? It's good stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Let's take a look at the numbers, first of all. For Lincolnview, with 17 points, Max Hammonds has 13 of those points. What other numbers do we have, and what do they tell us?
First of all, for Lincolnview, for twos, they're 6 of 12, and they're one of 7 for threes. That gives them 7 of 19 for 37%. They're 2 of 2 from the foul line. I have them for 3 defensive rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, and 3 turnovers. For the home team, the Knights, they're shooting 9 of 14 from twos, 3 of 10 from threes. So the zone's kind of doing what it's supposed to, but they're still shooting 50% on the Knights so far. 3 of 4 from the three-point line, 6 defensive rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds, and only 1 turnover.
And for Crestview, Ren Sheets is the leading scorer at halftime with 10 points. Let's talk about adjustments. If you're Coach Hammonds in Lincolnview, what are you looking to do here in the second half?
Well, I think that 2-3 zone did work, but the problem was that they gave up penetration. There was too much penetration off that zone. It caused problems, so they're going to have to keep the ball in front of them, and then when the ball goes up, they have to make sure all 5 guys on that zone find somebody to box out. I think they've got that high-low against that zone has done such a good job. Crestview has worked magician with Ren Sheets and whoever else. Putman, they've been really good at going high-low and diving off of it, kind of going to dead spot and diving into the basket. Got themselves some easy looks. They're going to have to look at the cutters and not only that, but take away penetration. Offensively, I think they got to still kind of lull them to sleep and get the back cut and maybe try to speed them up a little bit to force them to take maybe some bad shots if you're Lincolnview.
And if you're Crestview coming out of halftime, first 4 minutes, we want to bring the intensity and send a message that you're not going to be able to get back in this game, Lance.
Absolutely, and you also want to kind of not really have to show anything more than you've already shown them because, like you said, they play within a week, and there was the penetration, but at least this time they stepped up and took the charge there.
Great defensive play by the Lancers as Braxton Leith picks up the personal. That's his third, team's first of the third quarter, but that's a storyline for the Knights. Braxton Leith, he guards and is guarding Max Hammonds. Hammonds had 13 in the first half. That's uncharacteristic for Leith to allow the opponent's best player to have that kind of half, and with 3 fouls, he's got to be all that more conservative defensively. There's a turnover. Here comes Hayden Parrott. He's looking to get to the glass, and there's a nice block, but that's not where the foul is. We're going to see it on the Hoffman-Edwards replay. Parrott with penetration. I think the foul's going to be on Max Hammonds.
Right. Good job by Price to get up and swat that one away, but Hammonds tried to get in front to stop that penetration, but to unavail as Parrott was not to be denied, right? He was coming like a locomotive down there to trying to get to the rim, and he misses the first one.
Hayden Parrott, the third leading free throw shooter for Crestview at 66%, will look to make good on the second one here at the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line. And he does so. 1 for 2 on the night for Parrott. First point for either team here in the third quarter. Hammonds brings it across the timeline. Crestview staying with their man-to-man. As you said in the pregame, they have other defenses they can use, but so far in this one, we've seen straight man.
Right, and again, what you don't really want to show everything that you got in your arsenal, just because then they can see it and get it on tape. They can talk about it. As a great cut by Price, who got the wide-open shooter there.
Chase Overholt picks up the three and gets the lead back right at 11 for the Knights. Overholt, corner pocket, drills the three, give the assist to Price. Red Sheets doubled.
Triple.
Yeah, and rotates it over. Hefner on the left side. When it comes out of that triple team, you got to be quick and aggressive. Leith with the jumper from the free throw line doesn't go, but there's Red Sheets. He picks up the bucket. Yeah. He gets Gavin Evans in the air, and Evans is going to pick up his third personal.
But he does his work right here. Like he's kind of got away, and look, you can't teach that. He kind of knew where that ball was going. The shot, he got around him. He got Evans out of the way, and he went and got it just like there on that replay. It was great. You just can't teach that, right?
You cannot. It's an instinct. You can work it, but when they get out there on the floor, they just have to be aggressive. Red Sheets makes the free throw. He has 13 now from the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line. Makes that a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
Right, Dave. We've coached a lot of players that would have stayed on that side thinking that 9 out of 10 times that ball's going to go long, but he recognized and he went right to the spot. That was the impressive part. He did the work early and went to where the ball was going to go. That is not coachable. That is a skill and an instinct that makes him such a good player.
And that's why he is the reigning NWC Player of the Year and shoots 71% from the floor. Max Hammonds looking to get in there and do something, but gets in with the trees. And I'm going to say, Max Hammonds is also making a name for himself as a sophomore.
Right.
I'm sure he's going to get some league recognition. Braxton Leith going to the bucket. Goes off the window, doesn't score, but there's Putman being strong and physical, and he cleans it up.
Yeah. Just so good at the glass. They just attack the glass and go get it. I mean, we talked about it in the pregame of how they had to be physical and match the physicality against Crestview. They've out-rebounded everybody they play, and tonight is no different. They have just gone to the rim and getting it.
Hammond stops and pops from the free throw line, and he drills it. picks up his first field goal of the second half. He has 14 and 15 points now on the night.
You know, kind of talked about getting offensive rebounds, but really they're limiting the Lancers from getting anything. You know, they only have a couple defensive rebounds, which tells me that Crestview's been very efficient on the offensive end, as well as, you know, they only got a couple offensive rebounds. That means that they're not getting to the rim on the offensive end if you're the Lancers fan.
Bennett Kill with the rebound. He's in the game for Evans, who goes out with those 3 fouls. Hammonds with another look. Doesn't go. Crestview in transition. Hefner at the timeline. He's going to take it against all the blue shirts. And it goes off the side of the backboard and out of bounds. It'll go back to Lincolnview. I like the thought from Hefner. He just needs, again, to use that strength because he's put on some weight this year from last year and get to the glass and kiss it off the window instead of the side of the backboard.
He may need to stop a little early. Like that's a
gather
tough,
and go.
Right.
Yep.
A lot of times players want to over-penetrate, right? They see it in the NBA getting all the way to the rim. Sometimes it's okay to stop 3 or 4 feet from the basket and pull up and use that backboard, which is a lost art of that little mid-range jumper.
Xander Coyle gets to the rim on Hefner, and he scores it. Xander Coyle with points 3 and 4. Cuts it back to a 12-point advantage for the Knights.
Holden Price playing a little bit of defense there.
Yep. Gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. We talk about Max Hammonds, and I mentioned his younger brother Marshall. You're going to see those two up here. So you've got in the area, you've got the Sensaballs that'll both be back. You got the Berkeys at Shawnee that'll both be back. And you got the Elwers at St. John's. And then you're going to add the Hammonds brothers. And that's what you're going to – it just makes basketball so much better when you have brother combos like that. And Tommy Hefner gets in trouble a little bit there and makes a wise decision, takes a timeout. We'll take one as well. 3:45 to go in the third. Knights up by 12. Tonight's premier sponsor for this rivalry game between the Knights and the Lancers is First Federal Bank in Van Wert, your community, your bank. And tonight's 3-point sponsor is Hoffman Edwards Plumbing. We take pride in providing the highest quality plumbing and heating along with the best customer service. Call 419-238-5628 for all your HVAC needs. Crestview takes a timeout because Hefner had a double team there at the timeline. Gives them a chance to regroup, and let's see how they come out of it. Owen Heckler with a 3-point shot doesn't go. Lancers with a chance again to get this down to a single-digit deficit.
Sheets was right there, though. He knew that was going. He just went a little bit farther than he thought. It's just poetry in motion to watch him go get the ball on the offensive end. It's just good to see.
Yep. He is a legitimate post player, which a lot of teams you see 5 out. Yeah. And again, for the Lancers, you see 5 out simply because their starting lineup, the tallest player, 6 foot. That's what you got to go. You got to go with your strengths.
Right, yeah.
But the 6'6" Ren Sheets, he does a lot of nice things down there around the basket at both ends. Under out of bounds for the Lancers, Max Hammonds has done a lot of nice things tonight for Lincolnview. And he goes to kill at the elbow. Back cut, not there. There it is on that one, but Hayden Parrott does a nice job of snapping the head, getting a hand on it, something Crestview didn't do very well in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, with this 5 out, to kind of piggyback on what you said about the 5 out, it also draws the bigs away because they have to come out and play because every one of these guys are 3-point threats, so they have to come out and guard them. So that opens up that paint, opens up these slips. They open up the backdoor cut. If not, if you're going to put, let's say, Ren Sheets right there in the middle or his brother, somebody's going to be open for a 3-pointer.
And there's a 3-pointer by Chase Overholt, and he drills it. That's his second 3 of the night. That's a Hoffman Edwards 3. We take pride in providing the highest quality plumbing and heating along with the best customer service. That's Hoffman Edwards Plumbing.
Yeah, and Will Sheet kind of got caught looking at what was going on and lost track of his man and left him wide open for a 3.
Punch, counter punch. Yes. Owen Heckler scores it. 3-ball, corner pocket. Apple Jacks for the Knights. They go back up 12.
Yeah, good pass by Will Sheets. Got in the high post area and instantly got it right on the shooter's hands, and he knew what to do with it when he got it and knocked one down.
Chase Overholt with the basketball, guarded by Red Sheets out there above the three-point line. That talks what you said about Scott pulling the big away from the basket. Max Hammond's now with it.
And doing such a good job, right? He didn't beat him off the dribble, and he got out there and kind of a switch there, a little late. I think Overholt's shot that a little bit farther out than he really wanted to.
Yeah, the right shot to take.
Right, but then he also had a big on big.
Correct.
So you got a 6'4" guy or a 6'6"
coming
guy.
at you.
Yeah, and it makes you hurry a little bit.
Undercooked it as a result.
Yep. Right. Shoot a little bit higher than you normally would.
2-2-1. Pressure. Again, I always look at a 2-2-1, and I know you having your OG roots, 2-2-1, that's something they like to play a lot in both the boys and girls program. As Leith doesn't get that one, Ren Sheets chases it down. Parrott into the middle of the paint, and he uses his strength to go up and over and gets that bucket. But that 2-2-1, I look at it as a nuisance press. If you do what you're supposed to on offense, you should be able to handle it. But if you make a mistake, that defense is going to take advantage.
Good hustle.
Good hustle all the way around. We're going to get a jump ball.
Yeah, Coyle one got that one.
And Sander has been a spark plug for this Lincolnview team off the bench
tonight. He's been energy.
Tonight.
He's done a lot of good things. He's made some good cuts.
4 on the baseline. BLOB, baseline out of bounds, a little flex action. Yeah. And Holden Price doesn't get that one to go, gets it blocked. And here comes Crestview in transition. Last seconds of the third quarter, and Parrott's going to pick up the foul on Xander Coyle.
Yeah, he's like you said, he's been all over. He's been energy. He's brought it in on the defensive side. He's brought it in on the offensive side. He's done a lot of good things for the Lancers.
That's his first foul. Team's third, so it'll be sideline out of bounds for the Knights. I don't think you're in a situation where you want to hold it for the last shot if you're Crestview. You want to get a quality look as Parrott looks to drive and gets bailed out a little bit there, out of control. Might have got bumped, but he goes with the bounce pass, which was a good idea. It goes off a Lincolnview leg, so it'll be Crestview under out of bounds now.
And Hamilton did a good job sticking his foot out there to knock that one away.
Parrott's going to come out and set the table for the Knights. Lincolnview in that 2-3 zone.
They might just take the last one now.
And they just switched to that zone. Now they're looking to maybe attack a little bit. But, yeah, if they're going to sit in that zone, I think Coach Etzler will be very content to hold it for the last shot and try and take momentum into the quarter break.
It's not bad to have your 6'4" center at that top of the key that if you get in trouble, just throw it up to him.
They go inside to Will Sheets. He kicks it out to Heckler. Parrott swinging it over to Leith. Leith to Putman in the corner. Not a good place to be. Parrott comes to the basketball.
Nice pass.
Yes, nice pass. Parrott to Putman, but better defense by Hamilton.
Yes, it was.
Toe with the shot from half court.
Ooh.
And the officials were not going to allow it, said he still had it, but it would have been fun to watch it go through the net.
I sure would have.
The end of the third quarter, Crestview 41, Lincolnview 27. Tonight's Instant Replay is sponsored by Carey Insurance in Grover Hill, proudly investing in our youth programs and our communities. Carey Insurance. Both of these programs, tradition-rich. Lincolnview, they've got 5 Northwest Conference championships, 1 state championship, 2 runner-ups at the state level. Crestview, 19 Northwest Conference championships. They lead the league in that category. 2 state championships and 1 runner-up and 1 Final Four. That's what programs, that tradition-rich base, these 2 teams, that's why these kids love being able to put on the uniform and compete for their respective schools.
Right, and you know, the Lancers have been very good in baseball and other sports, and we've always said it, and I've told other coaches and who have been a part of winning breeds winning to other programs, other things. As Ren Sheets just goes up and get it, but it just breeds winning all the way around, and kids want to be a part of winning, right? They,
absolutely.
You know, they're going to, and he goes out there and defends it, and he just goes and lays it in.
Lays it in with the left hand. I didn't know if he was going to be able to get his footwork down and go with a dunk, but Sheets, again, would rather have the points. And
yes.
Coach Brett Hammonds is going to take a timeout as the Knights stretch this lead to 18 here in the early part of the fourth quarter. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. We want to thank our free throw sponsor tonight, Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken in Wapak, St. Mary's, and Delphus. I've been to all 3. They're all great. Come join us next week February 17th through the 23rd for Customer Appreciation Week. Lee's not just famous for chicken, famous for catering too. Coach Hammond's a great timeout right there, starting to really get away from the Lancers down 18. They've done a good job, Scott, of hanging around, but right now, a good timeout for Lincolnview.
And in that quarter, they forced the Knights to only shoot 4 for 11. They're 50% for the game, but that quarter they shut them down to 36%. But here's the bad part. They only shot 38%. They're 3 of 8. You know, you have to work so hard on the defensive end. They didn't really capitalize on the offensive end, and that's why it's still a 18-point game. And then when you give up a couple turnovers and easy baskets, it's just you're digging yourself such a big hole. You just can't get it. As good offensive there by Gavin Evans to go and score without fouling, right? He went straight up and went over the defender to score that.
Evans picks up his first field goal of the game.
Steps in front and gets a steal.
Yep. Little spark plug here coming out of the timeout. Coach Hammond's getting what he wanted, taking that break, a bucket, a steal, now an opportunity to put more points on the board.
Right. Again, you got to capitalize on those steals and those stops to have any chance of getting back in this game.
Creston Toe gets to the elbow, puts it up, doesn't go. Toe, most improved player on this squad for the Lancers this year. Really works hard out there. That one doesn't go. Crestview with the basketball now. Hayden Parrott out front. Parrott's sort of evolved as a glue guy for the Knights. He just does those little things, and we see him take advantage here on the Carry Insurance Instant Replay.
And you kind of pick your poison. What are you going to do? Because if you go and double that, you can leave Ren Sheets going all to the rim with no one on him. And unfortunately, that's foul on Evans, and that's his fourth because he kind of got caught. Do I stop the dribbler? Do I stay with the Ren Sheets? And then he finally, I'm going to go with the dribbler, and he tried to not foul him, didn't he, Dave? But he just got too much of a body on him to made the official call that.
Yep. Hayden Parrott there. Yep. Hayden Parrott picks up the free throw, 2 for 3 on the night. Max Hammonds again finds the open area, and he splashes that three. That's his second 3 of the game, and he has 18 points on the game now. Almost gets a steal. Yep. Braxton Leith. Liam Putman to the baseline, kicks it out. Hayden Parrott with another wide open look. Yeah. He splashes it. So back-to-back threes, and our three-point sponsor, Hoffman Edwards, being rewarded as these teams go back and forth right there.
Yeah, and again, they did such a good job to put that ball. They do so good passing, too. We haven't talked about that yet, but if you notice the shooters, they've been putting the ball in the shooters' hands to knock that down. I think Coach Essler's called that timeout because he wasn't happy when Lincolnview went to that too high, which I think is a great move by Coach Hammonds. Too high, you got his son Hammonds coming off that double screen. If you don't switch it, he's either coming off it into the rim, he's got a shot, or then he drags it, and then Overholtz goes the other way, like if they try to double him or whatever. It's great basketball, but I think Coach Essler is like, he just stopped and everybody stopped because he won under the screen. Is like, we can't go under it. You can't go under it and let a shooter step and get his feet with nobody around. So you're going to have to fight over top. And I think that's what because he looked right at.
Yep.
He looked right at the guards and like, hey guys, you can't just let a shooter be wide open. You have to go over top of that. And yeah, you got to be a little bit tougher and handle those bumps on that too high screen because we got your help if he comes around it, or if he slips it. We got guys on the backside, but we just can't just go under it and let them get a wide open shot.
Yep, game 20 and 21 for these two schools, but they're continuing to teach are these coaches. And you're right, always trying to improve possession by possession. Thought Hammonds might yank it from there again, but he is guarded closely by Braxton Leith. And you talked about the three-pointers. We've seen a lot of three-pointers go down the inside-out action. Putman threw it to Parrott there. When it comes out of the paint, that's just like what you practice all the time. When you're shooting in your driveway or whatever, the ball's coming to you from the basket to shoot that three. And when you have your feet set, pointed at the basket, it comes right back to you. It seems like that shooting percentage just goes up exponentially.
Yeah, and they just ran that too high. Look, just a different way, but you see how they put it. Parrott went over top, and then what happened was Hefner then switched off on it, and then Parrott guarded whoever Hefner had. So they played that to perfection, and they didn't let the drag get it.
Putman scores it. Crestview made the adjustment that you said Coach Etzler wanted to see happen. They do it on that last possession, and then Putman drills the 15-footer. Knights up by 21. Halfway through the fourth quarter. Chase Overholt gets a three-ball look, doesn't go down. Hefner in transition. He's got Rensheets to the right, but he's going to get to the window with the left hand. Fundamentally correct, and he picks up his first field goal of the second half.
And he's done that all night, right? No one has stopped him. He gets put the ball in the open court, and he is a runaway train going down to the rim, but somebody's got to toughen up a little bit and stop that ball and not let him get to the rim, which he has all night. I mean, that's something Coach Hammonds, I'm sure, is going to talk about in the tape when they play him next week.
Lincolnview with the baseline penetration. That's Holden Price. They go inside to Creston Toe from Chase Overholt, and Braxton Leith caught out of position. I think he was in help position anyway, but he's going to pick up his fourth foul. And Creston Toe is going to go to the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line. The third leading free throw shooter for the Lancers at 61%. He's shooting 2.
And Coach Etzler's probably not, that'll probably come up on film, like you don't need to foul him, right? You just need to be there, wall up, be big, and make him make a shot, especially when you're up 22. Why let them score with 4 minutes to go with the clock not running, right? That, again, another teachable moment that they can go, because that'll go a long ways, because there's going to be a game where they're only going to be up 1 with 4 minutes, and you just got to wall up, and if he makes the shot, he makes the shot, but you don't foul a shooter that close to the basket.
Absolutely. Creston Toe goes 1 for 2 as he picks up his first point of the night on that first Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw. Hayden Parrott across the timeline. Lincolnview staying in the zone but being aggressive out of it. In the game for the Knights, that's Huxley Gross. And that's a hoop in the arm. Again, we talked about Hayden Parrott being the glue guy. We're going to see it right here. Will Sheets with the board. Hayden Parrott attacking the rack.
Yeah. But Will Sheets, again, in midair, jumping. Two-handed pass, put it right on Parrott, right up between the zero, from the low post out to the three-point line. Again, they have to work on that. That's just not something that you just come up with, because, again, knowing Coach Etzler being a shooter and knowing what he likes to have the ball, they do such a good job of putting the ball on the shooter's hands.
Hayden Parrott with 14 points on the night now as Gavin Evans attacks Will Sheets, but Will Sheets wins that battle. Parrott backing over, and Will Sheets tried to go with a little dunk on the rebound, pulled the rim down, and kicks that ball ricochets off the iron. Lincolnview's going to get the basketball off the turnover. We see it on the Carry Insurance replay.
A nice little pass. Finally, he stopped the ball, and Parrott goes, and Will Sheets tried to get, I think he kind of maybe got the net.
I was going to say, I don't think he grabbed the rim, but
no.
Will Sheets can dunk the basketball, but I think he grabbed the net, and that pulled the rim down and kicked the basketball out of bounds.
Yeah, got some new guys in. I'm sure it's time to let them to play, and so nobody gets, hurt or whatever tonight. And
Max Hammonds with the three. It doesn't go. But you're right. We mentioned Huxley Gross in the game for Crestview. Jacob Schum is in the game for Crestview. Lincolnview still has several starters in at this point in time.
And it's good because these guys practice just as much as everybody else. And
Matthew Daly in the game as well. Sorry about that,
that's
Scott.
Okay. But that they get to the fire, right? They get the press and did a good job. They found the wide open guy, and Heckler knocks one down.
Heckler with his third three of the night. He had 6 against Coldwater last Saturday. He's a dead-eye shooter from out there. And, again, we said earlier, he's the leading three-point shooter for Crestview at 47%. He's backed that up tonight.
Yeah, and good job by Daly.
Yep, Matthew Daly got it.
He got a good job. He put it on him. He's wide open over there. And
Will Sheet attacking, and there's carnage under the basket. Bodies flying. Here comes Will Sheets on the Carry Insurance replay as both Xander Coyle and Gavin Evans contest the shot, and Evans is going to pick up his 5th foul. Gavin has played hard tonight, but he's been plagued with foul trouble, and he's going to go out of the game, and now Lincolnview is going to rotate some players in now. We have Jackson Ingledew in the game. Grant Zilke.
Hamilton checks in. He's been in several
Cody
times
Hamilton's
today.
back in.
you can't fault the effort by both teams. They played
Absolutely.
their tails off. They just, Lincolnview just didn't make any shots, and I just think the size of Crestview caused fit for the Lancers. But if you go look at effort, I would say they both teams played their tails off tonight, and as a coach, that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely. Will Sheets 1 for 2 from the Lee's Famous Recipe chicken free throw line. Owen Heckler out of the game now, and in the game for Crestview is number 22. That is Cash Hammonds, a freshman. And yes, that is the nephew of Brett Hammonds for Lincolnview. A lot of shared family.
Right, yeah, when you live this close, right?
Yep. Huxley Gross with the basketball. Guarded by Jackson Ingledew. Matthew Dealey. And what I like is we're running offense. We're not just holding the basketball.
Sure. Right.
Will Sheets with it. Looking to get in, go to the left hand.
Nice move.
He uses the left a lot,
Yeah.
but he says, stop me. I'm going that way until someone does. And right there, he gets to the window and scores.
His dominant hand, and Hamilton just let him get to his dominant hand. As a post player, you got to take that away and be able to wall up and not let him get to the rim. He's trying to do a little bit too much, threw it out of bounds.
One of the things we haven't talked about tonight is these two communities, they get together for Rivals United. When they play each other, the whole week is filled with events. There's an FFA basketball game between Crestview and Lincolnview. There's a wrestling match between Crestview and Lincolnview. The businesses in both communities and in Van Wert contribute funds for purchases by Lincolnview and Crestview fans. And all that money gained goes to the United Way of Van Wert County. So it's a real positive piece that these two communities come together to raise funds for the United Way.
And what a great idea.
Cash Hammonds from the corner doesn't go. That's Denver McDougal in the game now for the Knights, number 35. Ingledew with the basketball up front. Hamilton.
Thought about it.
Yep. And that's a three-point from Grant
Nice.
Zilke, a three-pointer, and he drills it. Zilke picks up the three. A Carey Insurance, or that's the instant replay, excuse me, a Hoffman Edwards three-pointer.
Hammonds.
Cash Hammond scores at the other end for the Knights. We'll have our Stolly Hustle Award as well as a discussion with head coach Doug Etzler after the game, so you want to stick around for that. As we have our last few seconds of the game counting down. Preston Toe sets things up, does the 5'8 senior. Hamilton takes the elbow shot, doesn't go, and that's Holden paired in the game, tries to go to McDougal, and yes, Holden is the brother of Hayden. Three-pointer on the left wing, doesn't go for Jackson Ingledew. Here comes Holden Parrott, gets to the window and he scores it. Excuse me, that's Hudson Parrott.
Yeah.
Hudson Parrott had that wrong. You want to get that right. He makes the bucket
Right.
on the three-point play. Goes L.A. to Boston, coast to coast, Scott.
Right, and that they've been doing that all night. I wonder if that was something that was on the scouting report that they have been attacking off the fast break, off the dribble. They really haven't really passed it ahead much, but they have really attacked it. And when they got across half court, they have really went to the rim.
Hudson Parrott looking to get another three-point play the old-fashioned way, and he does. JV players for both squads in the game now. Down to our final five, and Lincolnview's going to hold it. Our final score from Crestview High School in the Ray Etzler Gymnasium. Crestview 68, Lincolnview 36. We'll be back with our Stolly Hustle Award winner, and we'll break it on down after these on WOSN. And welcome back to Crestview High School in the Ray Etzler Gymnasium, where tonight Crestview has defeated Lincolnview 68-36. They also came away with the sweep as they won the JV game 54-39. As we look at our stats, Scott Mag, What do they tell us, and what did we see again for this victory for the Knights?
Well, the Knights shot 53%. We talked about at halftime they were 50%. I think they did a good job in the third quarter, Lincolnview did, but I think they ran out of gas. And what I think you had mentioned off camera, it was 27-9 in the fourth quarter, and they built that percentage back up. Here's another stat that leaps out to me. 11 offensive rebounds. We touched on that as being the key before the game to be physical. They got to the rim. They did some things. They got those offensive rebounds. You can't let good teams get multiple possessions. And when they did, they got easy baskets from them offensive rebounds. On the other end, you look at Crestview. They played very well defensively. They forced Lincolnview to only shoot 34%. And by this count, they had 9 total rebounds, 4 defensively and 5 offensively. So defensively, only 4 rebounds. That tells me either Crestview was very sufficient offensively, or when they did miss, Crestview got the rebound and scored. And only 4 defensive rebounds for a game, you're not going to win many basketball games doing that.
Yep. It all adds up to a 32-point victory for the Knights. It's time for us to look at our Stolly Hustle Insurance Award winner. Check out highlights of tonight's Stolly Hustle Award winner on the WOSN YouTube page. We had a discussion about it, Scott, and who are we going to go with for Crestview?
We're going to go with number 0, Hayden Parrott. And I think we talked about this, is he did such a good thing. He played defense. He distributed the basketball. He got to the rim. He knocked down some open jump shots when he had to, right? He helped that offense. He allowed them to have that outside punch. He allowed them to Crestview get to the basket that opened up shooters for other players. He just did a lot of the little things as well. And for that's why he's the Stolly Hustle Award winner tonight.
Yeah, Hayden Parrott has 14 points, 11 in the second half, where he was the spark plug that led to this 32-point victory. We'll be back with head coach Doug Etzler to talk about tonight's game and look at down the road, as these two teams will be right back in action next Friday night in sectional final action. You're watching, again, high school basketball on WOSN. Welcome back to Crestview High School in the Ray Etzler Gymnasium, where tonight the Knights have defeated the Lancers by a final score of 68-36. Scott Magg has been our color commentator. I'm Dave Bowen, and it is our pleasure to have the head coach of the Crestview Knights, Doug Etzler. Coach, you had a challenging week with the weather and practice, and this rivalry game, you just never know what might happen, but your team came out right away in that first quarter and made a statement.
Yeah, I think it was important that we got off to a really good start just to make them play fast the entire game. I thought athlete for athlete, we were a little bit bigger than what they were, so we wanted the pace to be pretty quick, and I think getting out to an early lead made them continue to play fast.
Coach Magg?
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned it on air and on the broadcast. Just curious, when you broke the press or when they did try to press you, was it plan of yours and thinking that from maybe what you've seen, what they play or scouting, of how you, once you got across the half court with the dribble, that you just went right to the rim and said, stop us if you can, and if you do, we got a big guy coming right down the Broadway, and it's either going to be an easy basket or we're getting to the rim and one, and you did that so well tonight.
Yeah, fortunately, when we were on the fast break, a lot of times ball was in Tommy's hand, who's our point guard, and Ren was opposite, and it's a tough choice. Do you want to stop the ball, or do you want to make sure Ren doesn't get an easy butt? Yeah. And I thought Tommy did a great job of just really attacking. Hayden Parrott did a good job of really attacking. Once you get down there, I think our size would play an advantage for us, and I thought our guys did a good job of trying to score at the rim or at least get to the free throw line.
I would agree with you.
Coach, you mentioned Hayden Parrott. Hayden Parrott was our Stolly Hustle Award winner tonight. He's evolved. He can score it, but he does a lot of those little things for you. Would you speak to that testament for him, what he does for you?
Yeah, obviously he is one of our main scorers. He's one of our three guys that are in or close to double figures. But what I really like about Hayden is I think his game has really gotten better, really more mature now, where when he goes in there, he's going to make the right decision. He does a great job of attacking, but he doesn't have to shoot it every time to make the right play for us. And tonight, the shot was available, but when it's not, he does a good job of feeding our bigs or kicking it back out. And then his effort defensively, he's really grown as a defender for us, and we can count on him to be great on the ball and great off the ball. But he's really grown into a really good player for us.
You got a big game tomorrow night now. You go to Delphos St. John's, and, yeah, that's your focus. But it's interesting how you're going to turn around and play these Lincolnview Lancers right back here at Ray Etzler Gymnasium next Friday in a sectional final.
Yeah, we were hoping that wouldn't happen, and that's the way the draw fell. But we wanted to make sure we came out here and played as hard as we could and make them compete for 32 minutes. And I told you a little bit before the game, try not to run a lot so that they can't, watch that on film. And I thought we did a pretty good job of that and played man the entire game. And, if we had to mix it up, we would go to that. But we wanted just to put great ball pressure, make them shoot tough twos. And I think for the most part we did that tonight.
And we both know Coach Hammonds will take these 7 days, and he'll have his team prepared to play again next Friday right back here on the road to Dayton in sectional play. That's going to wrap things up here at Crestview High School. We want to thank Doug Etzler for coming up and talking to us. We want to thank our camera people, the Lincolnview grad, Zach Keith, along with Kelsey Beimer, our director, Wayne Getz, and back at Master Control, Kelly Getz, and Operations, Nick Fraley. And for color commentator Scott Magg, I'm Dave Bowen. It's a privilege for us to bring high school basketball to you, the viewer. And until next time, may all of your jumpers hit nothing but the bottom of the net. So long, everybody.